Welcome to Grit to Glow, the podcast for moms, entrepreneurs, and women ready to step into their power. I'm Naomi, your host, mama, business coach, and unapologetic go-getter. Here, we're keeping it real. We will dive into the unfiltered heart of motherhood, entrepreneurship, and some of life's messiest moments. Because let's face it, growth doesn't happen without the grit. But the glow, that, my friends, is the magic that we create. You can expect tangible life and business support, juicy insights, and the raw truth about what it really takes to build the life and the business of your dreams. So, let's get glowing. Hey, beautiful, and welcome back to Grit to Glow. I'm Naomi, mom of two, business coach, and your fellow unapologetic go-getter. If you're here today, you are ready to embrace the grit and create glow in your life and in your business. So grab that cup of coffee or reheat the one you've already forgotten about 3 times today, and let's get real about the juggle that is motherhood and entrepreneurship. So today, we're diving into the raw, unfiltered truth about being a mompreneur. Let's face it. Trying to run a business and raise little humans at the same time is not for the faint of heart. And while Instagram might make it look like everyone else has it all figured out with their color-coded planners or spotless kitchens, I want to be the first to tell you they do not. And that's okay, because neither do I. But what do I have is tools, strategies, and some hard-earned lessons to help you make the most of your time so that you can chase those dreams without losing your sanity. So let's get into it. Okay, first we need to talk about this whole idea of balance. You hear it everywhere. Work-life balance. Balance your business, balance your family, balance your goals, balance your laundry pile. Can I just call it out? Balance is a myth. When you're a mompreneur, there is no perfect scale where everything is magically equal. Some days the business gets more of you and other days it's the kids. And you know what? That's okay. The key isn't balance, it's presence. So when I'm working, I'm all in. But when I'm with my kids, I try, keyword try here, to be fully there for them. Of course, that doesn't mean that I'm not sneaking glances at my emails or during snack times. Sometimes, okay? The goal is progress, not perfection. And I want you to give yourself permission to let yourself off the hook from the idea that you have to give 100% to everything all at once. Newsflash, you can't. And that's not failure, that's reality. Now, before we move on, I want you to ask yourself, where can you give yourself more grace? Maybe it's letting the dishes sit in the sink for an extra hour. Maybe it's not overloading your workday with back-to-back Zoom calls every day. Find your version of presence and let the rest be a little imperfect. Okay, so now that I've thrown the idea of balance out the window for you, I want to talk to you about how to actually manage your time when you're juggling a business and a family. So for me, it all comes down to 3 core pillars, and it's really prioritization, boundaries, and delegation. So I want to talk first about prioritizing. This is really mastering the art of doing less. And so here's the thing. You can't do it all. So you have to get crystal clear on what actually matters for you. Every Saturday or Sunday, I sit down and I make my quote, big 3 for the week. So that's really just 3 things that absolutely have to happen for my business to continue to move forward. And everything else is optional. So maybe it's launching a new offer or finishing a certain client project, or maybe it's creating content for the week so I don't have to do it on a day-to-day basis. Whatever it is, those 3 things are my non-negotiables and everything else is extra. For the rest of your life, you focus on your essentials. So dinner on the table, some snuggles with your kiddos, and honestly, maybe just making it through bedtime without losing your mind. Can I get an amen? The rest can wait. So really, really important to prioritize and just understand and give yourself grace that it's okay to do a little less. The next step is boundaries. I want to encourage you to know that boundaries are life-saving, especially as a mompreneur. So here's a hard truth I had to learn. Not every opportunity or obligation is worth your time. I set work hours with clear boundaries, even if it's just 2 focused hours during nap time, and I stick to them. And yes, this does mean saying no sometimes. No to the PTA meeting you don't have time for. No to the clients who don't respect your boundaries. Saying no to them is actually you being able to then say yes to you and your family. Lastly, delegation. So you can't do it all, and honestly, you shouldn't try to. Supermom isn't a real thing. So if you're trying to do everything for yourself, business, home, parenting, you are ultimately setting yourself up for total burnout. Delegation is not a sign of weakness. It's actually a sign of strength. Asking for help is really important. So for your business, this could mean outsourcing tasks like social media or bookkeeping. For your house, it could be hiring a cleaner once a month or getting your partner to take on a little more. Delegating frees you up to focus on what only you can do. Now, I want to talk to you about mom guilt for a second because, oh my gosh, is mom guilt real? And you're likely working on your business, and at times, probably if you're anything like me, feeling guilty for not always expending energy to play with your kids 24/7. You're with your kids and you're stressing about your business. It's a never-ending cycle. But here's the thing, that guilt does not serve you. Do you know what does? Self-compassion. I remember myself that being a mompreneur is teaching my kids something powerful. So when they see me chasing my dreams and working hard and showing up for something that I believe in, that is a gift to them. Yes, I miss things sometimes, or, my girls are home with me on Friday mornings and I may have to say, hey, after breakfast, I need to spend the next hour or 2 working. But I usually go in and then say, as a reward after we're done, we can go to the park and spend a lot of time outside and play together, and mommy will be there with you. Yes, there are days where I feel like I'm falling short, just like you. And oftentimes it's there more than not. But I know that I'm building something beautiful, and it's not just for me, but for them too. So I want to encourage you, the next time that mom guilt creeps in, to repeat after me. I'm doing my best, and my best is enough. You've got this. One of the best things that my mom shared with me early on in motherhood is that her grandmother used to tell people, if you want to come see me, come on by. If you want to come see my house, make an appointment. And I always thought that was so funny now being a mom. And I understand, because truly, it's not about the perfection. It's not about showing up with that HGTV ready for a reality show floor plan and decor. Yes, would that be nice? But honestly, sometimes when your kids are little, you're just not in the season of life where that is your reality. And truth be told, that's okay. For the longest time, I used to be so hard on myself, thinking like, gosh, I feel like every time I go to so-and-so's house, their house looks flawless, or gosh, I wonder what they're thinking when they come over to my house and my house just has like laundry piled on the couch or looks like a wreck. And to be really frank with you, we actually keep our house pretty tidy, but even in some of the, tidier moments, I still felt like in comparison, it wasn't even close to as organized as some of my friends or people that I know. And I found myself constantly questioning, my capabilities and am I doing enough? And I want to remind you that you're not alone in this, that motherhood is both messy and magical, and you are doing an amazing job. All right, my loves, that is it for today's episode of Grit to Glow. Remember, motherhood and entrepreneurship are not for the faint of heart, but you are doing an incredible job juggling both. And I don't want you to let anyone, including yourself, tell you otherwise. So if you found this episode helpful, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Send me a DM on Instagram at Naomi Berm and let me know your biggest takeaways. And if you're feeling generous, share this episode with a mom who needs it or who needs some encouragement today. So until next time, keep chasing your dreams, embracing the chaos, and turning your grit into glow. You've got this. Thank you for joining me for an incredible episode of Grit to Glow. If today's episode spoke to your heart or sparked an idea, I would absolutely love to hear from you. Be sure to screenshot this episode and tag me on Instagram at Naomi Firm. I always love connecting with you guys, so don't forget to subscribe so that you never miss a moment. And if you feel called to it, please leave a review to help more women like you find our show. Remember, the glow up is yours for the taking, so keep going, and I will see you in the next episode.